Lately I've been wondering, why are we always so stressed? Why are we always so tired? Why is it hard to sleep at night? And why are we just generally overwhelmed? In this video, I'm going to talk about overstimulation, how it's messing us up, and what we can do about it. So I was reading this article on Mind Valley about overstimulation, and they defined overstimulation as physiological or psychological overload. Or another way you can think about it is taking in things faster than you can process them. Well, how do you know when you're overstimulated? There are a few symptoms to look out for. It could be biting your nails, could be headaches, could be you can't sit still, maybe your thoughts are racing, maybe it's hard to sleep at night. Maybe you're craving sugar more than usual. Maybe your eyes are feeling strained. For me, I notice that when I'm overstimulated, I get more tension in my forehead. And I also have a couple twitches in my face and my shoulder. And when I'm overstimulated, that happens more frequently. So why are we getting overstimulated anyway? Well, part of the answer is this. Part of the answer is this, watching this video right now. It's computers, it's televisions, tablets, all of these screens, all of the internet. This device right here that we hold in our pockets and that we take for granted has like all of the world's information on it. It has every art piece of every art form you could imagine. It has every like person on it too, living or dead. And we can just switch back and forth between all of this with the click of, well, there's no buttons actually. You get the point. There's just so much on here at once. And we have more access to it than ever, but our brains haven't evolved. They're not designed to deal with this. Now, if you're like me, screens can overstimulate you pretty easily in these two situations. One, social media. You have all these notifications to look through. You have a lot of unread messages. You might be also chatting with someone. There's also a bunch of posts or pictures or videos or articles for you to look at in the feed. And there's just a lot going on at once. And unfortunately, we often do this in times when we're trying to relax. But if you notice what's happening when you're actually on social media for a little bit, you're gonna notice that you don't actually feel that relaxed when you're doing it or after you're done. So look out for that. The second situation in which I get overstimulated is watching too many personal development videos at once. Sometimes even just one personal development video has more advice than I could follow in a month. So imagine what happens when you're watching 3, 4, or 5 personal development videos in a row. That's just information overload for your brain. Because when you watch a personal development video, your brain goes into problem solving mode. It's thinking, okay, I have this problem, here's this new information, how can I implement it into my life so that I can get the result that is promised. Now, I definitely recommend watching personal development videos, and you should watch them often. Just make sure you're giving yourself enough time and space to actually think about them and to be able to implement them in your life one at a time, and I think that's the most effective way to do it. It doesn't have to be personal development videos. It could just be anything that is perhaps giving you new information and giving you things to ponder, giving you problems to solve. Those things can be very stimulating. Those things are very good for you to do, but usually in moderation. So is it really just screens that are overstimulating us? Well, not really. I mean, there's also, school or your job, and those things have a lot of screen use built into them, but not all the time. But the point is, screen use is one of the biggest factors for sure, and it's the one that you have the most control over, because you can largely choose how many hours a day you're on a screen. Now, some of it might be necessary, but you'd be surprised to find that a lot of it isn't. So what can we actually do about it? Well, the article I mentioned that Mind Valley wrote, which I'm going to link to in the description, by the way, they recommend meditation. And while I would say absolutely yes, do that, I see meditation in this case as a reactive approach, which is good. We should do that. Because we're overstimulated, we should meditate to counteract the negative effects. I also think we should take a more proactive approach and prevent this overstimulation from happening in the first place to the extent that we can. And the most common sense way to do that is to reduce our screen time. In the next video, I'm going to give you 4 methods that I've used to reduce screen time in my own life. If you don't want to miss that video, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when it comes out. Let me get my phone for this part. Well, part of the answer is this. And the easiest way to do that is to, and the most common sense